Test, test. Hi, good evening, everybody. We're going to get started soon. If you could please have a seat, we have some seats open right in that front row over there. So everybody is standing, and we kindly ask that you please have a seat in the front row. We have a few open spots. All right, just one last quick minute. We'll get going here, guys. Thank you for your patience. So we are very excited to host Vin here tonight. This is his third time back at RocketSpace. So before we go ahead and get started, let him take off the show. We have a few quick housekeeping announcements. First thing, if you guys want to use the internet, it's called RocketSpace, and the password is blastoff. So again, the Wi-Fi, the internet here is RocketSpace, and the password is blastoff. Quick question too, just so we can get a feel of who's here in the audience. How many of you have heard of RocketSpace before or been here before? Okay, well, it's nice to see some families, some repeat visitors here. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know it, so I'll keep it short. We're a technology campus. We help startups really expand their potential, their velocity. We give them everything they need to thrive and be successful. If you have any questions about that, Mark, our general manager right over there, is more than happy to answer your questions. But we want to keep this short, so without further ado, then take it away.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I come all the way from London to teach you how to build and monetize a Facebook group. It's real nice to be here in San Francisco, and I think I have a lot of knowledge that you guys will appreciate. So, does any of this sound familiar? You can't afford to do Facebook ads. You want to coach but have no idea where your clients will come from. You don't have a community, and you don't have any one place online where people respond to your ideas. So maybe you've tried blogging and you've given up because you've got no feedback, or likewise Twitter. If you're selling B2B, your audience is on Facebook, believe me. when Sophie reached out to me and said, do you want to come back and do a talk? I said, I should do it about Facebook groups. And she said, the funny thing is everyone in San Francisco thinks Facebook is dead. That was crazy for me to hear. Facebook has 1.8 billion people on it. So if you're doing anything remotely business, with the exception of a few niches like fitness, fashion, food, which are all Instagram, your audience is on Facebook. So I promise to you, by the end of tonight, you'll understand why a Facebook group is an amazing asset. You'll know how to set up your page so it'll work from day one. You'll leave with my secret sauce to grow it quickly. You'll know the exact posts you'll need to do to grow your group, and you'll understand the basics of moderation and how to measure the analytics. So there's a lot of information, and I'm putting 2 webinars worth into this 1 hour. So there's going to be a heap of data, but everyone who emails me, I will send the slides to, and it will be fun, I hope. So myths about Facebook groups: they're hard to admin, they're full of spam. You need to have a celebrity following to grow one. They need to be run like a full-time job. They're hard to grow. They're not that hard to grow. As a part-time project, this will be the place where all of your community is interested in what you have to say. So normally I skip past why and go straight into the how, but it's important to understand why this is an important thing for you at this stage in your career. So this will take time, but it is well worth doing. So firstly, it's a future-facing activity. And the question, how do you see the future? And the answer is, you start by understanding the present. In particular, where are people spending a lot of time or money without being paid? So a few years ago, if you'd noticed that there was a massive community around cosplay, people putting on the video game outfits and running around, and you did a conference on that, you would have made a lot of money. Now, if you try to do it, it's a little bit late. So where are people spending all their time right now? Well, something I noticed is that people go to work, they pretend to work for an hour, then they spend all day on Facebook. So if you can get in front of them and offer them something which feels like work, they're going to justify it to themselves. So go where people are rather than dragging them to your app that they've never heard of. So everyone is on Facebook. If you are starting off with a small budget, it's a smarter bet than Pages. Pages only work if you have budget to get people to see your posts. Now with a group, people post in it all day. So if you have an Instagram or Twitter page and you take a couple of days off from posting, you don't get anything. You're not going to get any clicks, any engagement. With a community, other people are jumping in and putting posts in at any given time. So communities keep going even when you're not there. This is the only public area of Facebook. So Facebook wants to be the internet, so it wants to be Eventbrite, it wants to be Twitter, it wants to be Medium. Unfortunately, Facebook is still seen as a private network. Groups are the only public area of Facebook where you're going to make friends with people who aren't in your personal friends list. So Facebook loves groups, and right now is pushing them into people's feeds. The age of the blog is dead, unfortunately. It used to be you would write on a website and then you would get traffic to it from Twitter and Facebook and Google. So Twitter, no one logs in anymore. People still send posts and follow celebrities, but the clicks from Twitter go down every single year. Google is harder than ever to get traffic from, and Facebook hates external links, as I'm going to go into in this talk. So the old system of getting a blog and getting a blog up and running and getting lots of views just does not work. The only people who can get a lot of traffic are people who have deep pockets to invest in, such as the alternative news site Breitbart. If you don't have that type of finance, you're not going to get traffic. So blogs are dead. So what does this mean? When you have a blog post and you have a video or a picture, put it directly into Facebook. Yes, if you have a 5,000 word post, copy and paste it into Facebook as a status update and into your group. It will get shown to a lot of people. Do an experiment in the next week, do half your posts with an external link to somewhere, and do the exact same posts into your group or into your personal page, and marvel at how you get double the engagement. Engagement is God with social media. It's the best platform for community management. It's very hard for companies to copy a community. They can always copy your idea. It's a perfect place to build your 1,000 true fans. So people think going viral is going from 0 to 10 million YouTube views overnight and nothing in between. Going viral is simply when people share whatever it is you're working on with their friends. You only need 1,000 true fans in order to make a living from whatever you're doing, whether it's creative, whether it's business. If 1,000 people will pay you $100 over the course of the year, so $10 a month, or a few $100 purchases, you will make $100,000 and you can do whatever you want full time. So all great companies, including Uber, as Tim Ferriss was saying, they all start with 1,000 true fans. If you can get those 1,000 true fans, that's when you scale out from there. And you can make a phenomenally good living with a few thousand fans. So it's really critical to understand that if you don't have a lot of Facebook friends, parts of this are going to be more challenging. The reason being, the main growth hack, and the reason I'm doing this talk now, is when you add someone to a Facebook group, they are in it. When you add someone to a page, they can say yes or no if they even see the invite. So if you and your co-founder both have 1,000 friends on Facebook, your Facebook group has 2,000 people in it in the first week. So this 10% of people will drop out, but you have 1,800 people who will see your posts. So you quickly pollinate and quickly get a lot of people, the potential and the feedback of your posts. If you don't have anyone who sees your posts, any followers, it doesn't matter what you post, no one will see it. So these are the steps for if, for whatever reason, your Facebook is a bit private and you don't have too many friends on Facebook that will be relevant to add to a group. So the first thing you need to do is look at all the other relevant groups on Facebook. So do a Facebook search and then click groups, and then add your Facebook friends to your group. So the method for this is find relevant Facebook groups using Facebook search. Add me as a friend. I'm in a total addressable market of 500,000 people. I'm in virtually every startup-related Facebook group. If you add me, Vin Clancy, then you can see all of the groups I'm in, and then you can request to join them. Begin conversations in groups that play up to people's insecurities. So you don't want to say, I need help with Facebook ads. You want to say, are there any Facebook ad experts in here? Would love your thoughts on this. Everyone wants to think they're an expert, so by getting that, you have an advantage over their psychology. Answer other people's comments and questions, and then add all the people you interact with as a friend. A very high percentage of anyone will accept your friend request. The worst they can do is ignore you, and you'll never know if they do, so you can trigger click happy. If you get the Facebook warnings for adding over 200 people a day, that's a good thing. That's a sign that you're probably on the right path. Lots of people won't have the courage to do this, but it really takes courage in order to achieve. Send a link to everyone you add saying hello and ask if there's anything you can do for them, and find something to give feedback for them on. So you can do many things for people, look at their website and say, this is something that could be improved. Most people in business will take that as a compliment and then add them to your group. So your pre-launch plan. What should your group be about? It shouldn't be about something I think people will be interested in. This is the main reason content sites and marketers die. The best magazines and online content platforms solve a specific problem. So all of your posts need to be about the problem your audience has. So maybe it's they can't get motivated enough to work. Maybe it is they don't have the courage to leave their job and start their own company. So it should be solving a very specific problem. So the key, if you really want to be successful, is to talk about the problems and then have your product be the solution. So they're constantly thinking about the problems they're having. They feel like you can relate to them, and then you're going to offer them the magic potion. The name is important. So you want it to have something that could realistically show up when people are searching that thing. So if they're searching for traffic or copy, they will find our group. And if you want to look at groups who do this really well, my group, obviously, traffic and copy, but entrepreneur lifestyle. So what's that about? Well, living the lifestyle of a successful entrepreneur. The rich 20-something. Like, that doesn't need to be explained. You're in your 20s, you want to get rich. The cult of copy, all about copywriting and the dark side of it. Screw the 9-to-5 community. So if people hate working 9 to 5, this is a community that enables you to be free from that. So having a name which says exactly what it does is great. The way we named our group was a little more confusing. We could have done like an online marketing mastermind. Firstly, there was a lot of groups like that, so we would have got lost in the noise. But secondly, if you don't understand that traffic means web traffic and copy means copywriting, we don't want you in the group, because you're going to be the sort of person who says, how do I set up an AdWords account? How do I log into Twitter? Like, those people ruin the experience for everyone else. So you can have a total beginners group or an experts group, but decide where you want to be. Don't make the group your brand name unless it's your personal name. So lots of reasons for this. No one wants to be sold to by a brand. You don't want your brand name to be in it if it goes horribly wrong. It almost definitely won't. And your company could die, or as a community manager, you could leave the company. But it's a great asset you can take with you if it's not under your brand name. Where possible, partnerships are great. Traffic and Copy is a partnership between me and a copywriter, Charlie Price. So when I get really busy with work or I'm on a speaking tour, he can pick up the slack, or when I can, and we're both working on it. We both use it for different reasons. So if you're a solopreneur and you really have little time, doing a partnership with someone else is a good idea. On day one, you need a rules section. The rules shouldn't be too rigid, but they should set a target for what the group is. So really the only group, I think, the group rule everyone should have is no external links. The reason for this is Facebook hates external links. Its entire business model is to get you to pay to get those external links to people. So if you don't allow people to do external links, so pictures fine, videos fine, text is fine, you show up in a lot more people's feeds, it gets a lot more engagement, and the group starts to get everywhere. So a number of people have said to me, you're all over my Facebook feed, this Traffic and Copy group. That's because we almost never do links. A pinned post, so you have a pin at the top which says to everyone, hello, nice to meet you, tell us what you do in the comment, welcome to the group, and then you can have links to whatever your product is in that pinned post too, so they know what the group is about on day one. Privacy, should you make the group private? Generally I'd say keep it public so that people searching Facebook can find it and people can share posts to their own Facebook. I started with private, and then as soon as we moved to public, the organic people finding the group went up massively. So generally speaking, unless it's a kind of private business you're in, I think public works really well. Vanity URL, so you can have facebook.com/group/ your group name, whatever it is. You can only do that before you hit 5,000 members. Do that first. The main thing you need, so like I tend to teach people the way to get the traffic and grow the group, but you have to have amazing content on day one. So you need to have at least 10 posts which are real knockouts. So the method posts, like the best stuff that you would normally say for your consulting clients, like the very best things you've learned in your industry, put them as text posts or video posts, whichever you do, and have them so when people go, what's this group, and they click on it, they see something amazing. So that is essential, because it doesn't matter how much traffic you hack to that front page, if that opening content isn't amazing, it won't convert. So here are some ideas you can write for pretty much any niche which people will love, and whether you create the group or not after tonight, these are dynamite posts. If I was starting again with nothing and no assets, here's what I do. Now there's always people way behind you in your journey. Even if you don't think you're that far along, there's always someone who hasn't left their job or just has an idea. They're really inspired when you talk about, this is what I would do, this is where I was back then. How to do X without X, or in 30 minutes. So if you're a relationship counselor, you could do how to improve your marriage without talking to your husband about it. So people, if you say the without the bit that they would find hard, this will convert really well. My daily routine, that's really popular. 10 little known secrets of our industry, 10 opportunity areas in our industry. Here are some side project ideas I'm too busy to try. The top 3 career decisions I've ever made. The top 10 do's and don'ts for succeeding in our industry. So anyone can write these. They're pretty much all speculation, but people absolutely love these posts because they give away the secrets. So here are the top 10 posts in the history of my group, Traffic and Copy. People love a success story. This is the post where I announced we'd reached 20,000 members. So announce your landmarks, celebrate those, 1,000 members, 5,000 members, 10,000 members. And the trick is, this is a real Silicon Valley trick, is to always go, can't believe we're growing so fast, never would have expected it. We have, like, we planned every member of this. But it's a common Silicon Valley meme. We always have to pretend like it's a surprise, because otherwise we look arrogant. So always be humble, as they say. I mean, the fact that the meme is "stay humble" says it all. Having your core story throughout a lot of your posts is the single most important thing in business. You know, anyone in this room who runs a company, if I don't buy from you, I bet I can find 10 other vendors tomorrow doing pretty much exactly the same thing. So why should I buy from you personally? Because I like you personally. So how do I connect with you? Well, you tell me about your past and your core story. So your core story is everything that led up to this point. So my core story is I was on welfare 4 years ago. Like, I literally had no money, and then overnight I was given $250,000 to launch Planet Ivy. So before that, I really had no idea what I was doing. So I had to learn growth hacking and getting traffic to my websites. So I got 2 magazines to over 1 million visitors a month. I got into Textiles Accelerator, launched a copywriting growth hacking agency, just did a 100-day world tour. So all of these things happened, but I'll never remember that the government used to pay my rent. Like, it was a long time ago now, but a lot of people in my group, they're in a similar space. They're divorcing, or they have problems with bills and so on. So by connecting with that, they don't see me as this swag figure traveling the world. They remember that there's a lot of potential if you work hard. Everyone likes fun, so this is one of the biggest posts ever. An SEO expert walks into a bar, bars, beer, garden, hangout, lounge, nightclub. So something someone found and put in our group got nearly 400 likes really quickly. So it's easy to find stuff you like and just throw it straight in your group. Polls do really well. Everyone loves to throw their opinion into a poll. And in this poll, we did what's known as a follow train. So they were invented back in the days of MySpace. Jump on and everyone follow this person. These threads do really well. Like, everyone put your Instagram, check each other out, and like and follow each other's stuff. So this was a poll on which platform to do next. Hundreds of votes, and Instagram was the winner. Also, finding motivational memes and then putting your own spin on it is key. So this is the classic, I have a long way to go, but I'm already far from where I used to be, and I'm proud of that. And then I put the spin on it. By the very fact you're reading this, you're in the top 5% smartest marketers in the world. So that's kind of complimenting people and making that very generic meme relevant to our group. So it's all about relevancy and context. So another one, the trouble is you think you have time, by Buddha. And so I juxtapose that with, should I write a list of all the growth hacks that have stopped working, and people are really into that. If there's one book you need to read about customer acquisition, it's Ask by Ryan Levesque, and this will massively reduce your failure rate in pretty much everything you do. So let's say you know what you're launching, you've always got to play dumb and say, guys, I'm thinking of launching this thing, what do you think? Everyone loves to throw their opinion in. Oh, could you do it like this? So you get feedback on what you're about to launch. Then you go, thanks for all the feedback. So this is what's going to happen. Because of all your feedback, I'm actually going to launch it next week. People are like, great, let me know. Then the next step is, okay, it's coming out. Can I grab your emails? And then the next step is you launch it. And then you ask for feedback, and you specifically can target the people who didn't buy. If you didn't buy from me, why not? And they might say, well, you should have included a payment plan. You're like, wow, that would have been really easy. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Or the price was too much, or it seemed too cheap. I didn't think it'd be worth buying. So you've got to ask at every step. And this is the key with a Facebook group. Now, these are dynamite, and these can make you $100,000 very quickly if you're a coach or consultant. But even if you're running a technology company, this is your community hub where every single day you can get user feedback on what you're doing or what you're thinking about doing. So you'll never have an easier tool to get in front of a lot of people and do these surveys. Serious posts and fun pictures. So if you don't take yourself so seriously, this will really resonate with people. So especially in the Valley where it's real serious here, if you're the person who doesn't take themselves so seriously, you stand out so well. Don't be afraid about talking about the dark side of business and what you're working on. So this post, what to do when it all goes wrong, this went down a storm, and they're really easy to do. You just have to think, what do I feel most uncomfortable saying? Talk about all the big things you're most proud of too. So this is a place to humble brag your achievements. So this was the email from South by Southwest that I got in 2014, which pretty much changed my life. They were like, do you want to come and speak at South by Southwest V2V? And at that stage, I wasn't even a public speaker. I only had one video, and that was my pitch for Techstars. But I got in, and then I started public speaking, and within 3 months, I went to the conference, Subs B2B, and I won Best Speaker, got loads and loads of consulting clients out of it, and then the next year I started the 100-day world tour. So when people see this, they can see success is just one email away. Success is just one growth hack away. So that's the way they inject their hopes and dreams into the things I talk about. And it is with growth hacking. But when they see this, they're pretty much at the stage I was when I got this email. So I was running a very small agency. I was like the only member of staff. But they can see they're in the same spot. So when you talk about this, they absolutely love it. Content is very critical. The only thing more important than content in building a community is community itself. Because if they don't go to your site for content, they can always go to 10 other sites doing basically the same thing. But community, they can only get in your community. So you want to do threads like, got a product or service to sell, drop it in the comments below. Hiring thread, who's looking to hire, say what you do, what you're looking for, or what you're looking to get. I did a $99 thread, sell one of your services for $99 or less in the thread below, like hundreds of comments. So bring those things that will bring people in. Where is everyone from post? I think that's coming out from here. Some of you are watching this thinking, but I don't have time to post. It's lies. You have a smartphone on you at all times. Like my mentor, Dan Meredith, a lot of his group are working full-time and they want to start their own companies. And he tells them, if you really don't think you have time, take a toilet break, sit on the toilet and update your group. Like when you put it like that, there's just no excuse not for updating. So this is, I realised I hadn't posted all day a couple of weeks ago, so I just put a shout out to the Friday hustlers, what did you achieve this week? Everyone wants to show off on what they achieved, and like the comment thread exploded really quickly. So it doesn't take much, you know, that took me about 30 seconds to write. So the 5 smash hit guaranteed posts. Number 1, where is everyone from? Number 2, new members, introduce yourself, what do you do? Number 3, who needs to hire or is looking for work? Please put below what you're looking for, why someone should hire you. Follow trains, so put your Facebook page, put your Instagram page, and follow each other. And ask me anything. So ask me anything are great because they bring in so much engagement and people are basically using you for free consultancy. So if they've bought into your ideas, they're going to absolutely love it. This is my idea, what do you think I should do? So whatever your niche is, if you've shown expertise, and then you do an Ask Me Anything, ideally as a Facebook Live, but you can do it as text otherwise. These will go down well because people want to get things for free. So now you have a great name, which ideally tells the groups, tells other people what you do. You're not doing it on your own, so you either have interns or other people helping you or a partner. If you have a full-time job, it's somewhat hard to do this on your own. A high-quality image, rules in the sidebar, a pinned post to direct group people to wherever you want to take them, and 5 to 10 insanely high-quality posts. Now we get to the fun stuff. So why am I giving this talk now? I should insert the word allegedly a few times here. Allegedly, when the financial crash happened in 2008, the suits at Google said, right, what department makes the least money? And it was allegedly the spam team. So they said, well, get rid of them then. So 50,000 people lost their jobs. So suddenly, all the spammers could really go to town on Google. But in 2009 to 2011, generally agreed as the golden age of SEO spamming. Then Google were like, it's crazy, we've got to get the people back in. They reined it back in. By about 2012, it was kind of back to normal. 2012 to 2014 was Twitter's golden age, where anyone could come along and get loads of traffic off Twitter. Twitter is one of those things that, well, I wouldn't be here without it. When my agency started to come up in 2014, we were a copywriting agency with guaranteed traffic, and no one else could do that because we had so many Twitter followers that we could just burst out posts all day. And 2015 was the last great year for Instagram. They started to shut down their APIs. It's a lot harder in 2016. So Facebook groups are the white space right now where you can get free traffic, you can make money off it, but it's not going to last forever. So in terms of what you need to be doing, the very first hack that I talked about, which is adding people into your groups, I guarantee you within the next 6 to 9 months, probably less, Facebook are going to shut this down.
It's too easy to do, and whenever there's an easy hack, the platforms always get around to it. So that is inviting your friends into the group and then them being in it by default, as mentioned earlier. So if you don't have a lot of Facebook friends that are relevant to your niche, use the methods I talked about earlier. But this is really key. If you don't get this part, the rest of it is very hard. A lot of you have probably tried to start blogs or tried to start Pinterest or Instagram accounts. You kept doing posts, but nothing really happened. That's because you didn't get to 1,000 or 2,000 followers quickly enough. So using that hack where you can bring your friends into the group, you get to that point. So the trick is, when you do that, is you want to create a Facebook post, a status update. Always say, hey everybody, because this triggers the algorithm. Because normally when someone says, hey everybody, they've got a new cat or baby or marriage. So you want to say, I've started a new group, this is the name, and it'll have cool posts like how to do X. I'm only inviting a select handful of you into it, please check it out. Say that and then invite everyone. Everyone thinks you're doing something exclusive, but in fact, you want everyone in there. So everyone thinks you're inviting them, so you go into your page and then just put the letter A in the box, in the invite box, and select all of the people beginning with A, B, C, and so on, and it'll be pretty easy to do. Don't invite more than about 800 people per day per account, but you can really go to town on this quickly. So once you have the default members in, the level 2 for people who are, let's say they don't have too many Facebook friends, which I know is some of you, there is another way you can do it. So by a show of hands, how many people have their own email list right now? How many people? How many people have a LinkedIn account right now? Okay, Google export your emails from LinkedIn. You can export all of your LinkedIn contacts' email addresses. Now everyone in this room has an email list. Great, now you can email them. You can also add everyone via that email address to your Facebook group. It doesn't go in automatically like a friend, but they get an email saying this person has requested that you join this group, check it out. So you could get all of your emails from your LinkedIn or from your email list or scrape emails from somewhere and then put it into the Facebook group, and then they receive invites as well. So between having lots of Facebook friends invited in and having lots of emails invited in, everyone in this room should really get that first 1,000 plus members. Competitions are a great way to organically grow the group, so that is by not necessarily by hacking, by just generally using social dynamics. So what you want to do is create an ebook, or maybe you want to give away 30 minutes of consulting time if people invite 10 friends to the group, or whoever invites the most wins the prize. There's always a few maniacs who invite a lot of people. So make sure you please only invite people who will be interested in this group. But this is one of the things we did in the early days to quickly grow the group. And the good thing about doing a Who Wants 30 Minutes Free Consulting is that is basically an upsell into your main coaching or them signing up to your software as a service package. So it has a dual focus. So by doing that, you have people who are really engaged and they do the work for you, which is the main point of growth hacking. So posting into other groups is another way of getting traction. So once you have all the articles you're writing for your own posts, for your own group, then post it into other people's groups, and then engage with people, and then add them as friends, and then add them to the group. So you want to do hyper-engaged posts to gain the Facebook algorithm. So one of these is the self-promotion thread. So tell everyone what you're good at below. People love to talk about themselves. Rate my landing page is another good one. Or because you don't want people putting external links, every now and then we do an external link thread. So what have you been reading recently? Post the link below. Because so many people are posting it as comments, it doesn't ruin the algorithm. So as long as the link isn't in the main post, it's fine. And you can't comment to your own post and put a link in. That doesn't really work either. Another good post. What is everyone's biggest career mistake, biggest learning like to tell others about? Time to be nasty. What does everyone hate in our industry? What drives you crazy? People love to answer that one. And what's everyone's biggest achievement so far this year? Whoever gets the most like wins the prize. So we're halfway through. The group needs a strong purpose. Seed users are essential. Get your Facebook friends in there. Start strong, but the main thing is to just get going on the group. Avoid external links in your group at all costs. Engagement is God for the first 90 days. Anything goes. So this means if someone is a bit mental and is stirring up the group. As long as they're completely crazy, I would let it lie in the first 90 days, because you want other people to be commenting and saying, this is wrong, what are you talking about? Because a comment thread is a very hard thing to do. And once you start your groups, you'll realize what I mean. Once you have people commenting, as long as it's not total mayhem, it's a really good idea to have that. So let people be crazy for the first 3 months. Partnerships are strong to succeed if you're very busy. You and a co-founder should share this. Nothing's more powerful than engaging your audience, so whatever happens, do whatever it takes to get those likes, comments, and shares. Keep your rules strong but flexible. Public or private groups important, but not a deal breaker. Just decide before 5,000 members, and grab your vanity URL. So a lot of you are reading this and thinking, I can do all of these bits, but how on earth do I create the content? So this is something I came up with having worked in the social media space. Most social media is basically pointless, so most people who work in social media are basically pointless too. So if you do this one thing, you will be doing about 90% of what a social media person does. So you're going to block out every Sunday night, 9 o'clock until midnight, and you are going to create a time where you will not be disturbed, and you need to write all of your posts for the week. I strongly recommend 3 posts a day when you start with your group. But even if you're not doing a Facebook group, even if you want to do Instagram or Snapchat or Pinterest, whatever it is, the key to success is aggressive follower growth plus posting 3 times a day. So you use Buffer software. Buffer will post to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Google Plus at the same time. As mentioned earlier, do your posts at 10 a.m. when people are pretending to work. And another post at 5 o'clock that is a meme or a fun picture or a question, and that will mean you get a lot of likes and people will be super engaged for the money posts that happen in the morning. But yeah, if you don't do this on a Sunday, and I've noticed if I don't do it on a Sunday, it just doesn't get done. Likewise, you should write your mailing list in this slot too, because you mean to do it in the daytime, but then you have a client call, you have an emergency, something comes up, you have to go out, and it doesn't get done. So I would strongly recommend everyone use Buffer or Hootsuite if you don't want to pay that much, and have them all set up on the Sunday night. It's the only guaranteed way to get those posts out. It's technically better to post them directly into Facebook, but it's just so hard to do that I would have them all written and all buffered up, so then you get to do the fun stuff, which is just checking in and seeing what got likes. People also think you're amazing at posting if you do this, and they think you're online all the time. So generally, tell a story about yourself, something you're thinking about the audience will be interested in. So in terms of getting ideas for posts, go to Reddit and look up whatever your subreddit is. So shout out some of the niches you're in. Music, okay. Personal finance, okay. Real estate. So there is reddit.com/r/music. reddit.com/r/real estate, etc. There is a subreddit for everything, and once you get to those pages, click on top and all, and you will get the most upvoted posts in the history of the site. So this means you don't have to guess. I think my audience will be interested in this. There's already a community around that very specific thing. Like you talk about music, there's about 125 different subreddits for electronic music alone. So like Reddit is where all of the forums of the internet exist. So you will go on there, you'll find all of the ideas for posts, and then you can rewrite them or just use them as ideas for your posts. You'll easily be able to do 21 a week, believe me. So that's where you can find all of your ideas for posts. But if there's anyone naturally creative in here, the best thing to do is just talk about yourself and what you're thinking about. So telling stories, I just met an old friend who's struggling with debt. Here's something I realized, and then you tell a story, and then what does everyone think about this? What are your thoughts on debt and personal finance? But it's a really good idea to end all of your posts with a question. No matter what you write about, find a way of getting a question to open up the comments. It's something I found that's annoying. I'll write a great post, it'll get lots of likes, but if I don't put that question at the end, it does not get what it needs. Another way you need to trigger the Facebook algorithm is a unique photo. So if a photo has been posted a lot of times, Facebook's not going to give it much page rank because other people have seen it. What you need is unique EXIF data. So what is a unique photo? A selfie you take of yourself. But how do you make that a unique photo? Make it a meme. Go to imgflip.com and then you can put the words above and below the picture. Now it's important that you care for your group. How's everyone following so far? All right. Moderation. What happens if you get this wrong? The group fills up with people spamming their blogs. Other real estate people are posting their real estate stuff on your site and trying to eat your lunch. Everyone's self-promoting. Sunglasses adverts, pornography. Lots of people with no engagement ruining your page rank. And this is a silent killer because you don't realize it. People are posting their links, you think they're interesting, they get 0 likes, and bit by bit your group starts to disappear from people's feeds. That has killed more great groups than virtually anything else. So moderation of posts is critical. So what you've got to understand is 90 to 99% of people will never like, comment, or put their own post up. So understand that, it's just the way it is. Some people just don't want to be involved. So you have to understand that that's the way things work. But you need a great squad of mods and admins. So these are people who are going to do all of that work for you. Like any business, the first thing you need to do is stop doing the main task yourself, hire other people to do it. So who should be the admins? People who are already contributing a lot and are into the group. So you've got to take advantage of the fact that most people don't do work, they just derp about on Facebook all day. So if you find those people in your group, they will work with you for free to moderate. They decide which posts get through the spam filter. They add the people to your group. It's a daily task to find out who's adding themselves to your group and not add the people who are obviously spam robots. If you've done the previous step well, if you do we're looking for mods to admin the group, you'll actually get a lot of replies for this. So if they're active at producing content, their posts are guaranteed to be in the group. So again, they will get clients out of it. That's what's in it for them. They get access to you as well. So as the thought leader in the group, they can ask you questions about their business that you'd otherwise charge them, or you get annoyed if they kept asking you questions. Avoid anyone on a power trip, obviously. So we had a mentor who had one of the biggest groups on Facebook, Entrepreneur Lifestyle, and one of his major points of advice was, guys, my phone never stops beeping with traffic and copy. You cannot let everyone post in there. You've got to put up a wall where the posts get accepted. And as soon as we did that, the quality of the group got a lot better, and it became a magazine rather than a random forum. So all of the posts were high quality, and we know that they are high quality because we keep seeing posts from 3, 4, 5 months ago bubbling up, which means people are reading the entire thread for the last few months and then commenting, this was a great post. And of course, as soon as someone comments on something, it goes back to the top. So this is a good strategy for other people's groups. If you post in someone else's group and it starts to die down a bit, go out and find your post. You can save posts now on Facebook and just drop in a smiley face or another comment, and it will boost it to the top. You can even delete the comment and it still goes up. The cons of not letting everyone's post go through, you don't know what will go viral, but the main thing is you need all the engagement you can in the first 3 months. So I'd be tempted to let everyone's posts come through because you don't want the group to be dead, and most posts are going to be dead and have very few likes at the very start, and that's fine. So by having more posts, you kind of get around that. So the mods make decisions about whether to ban people. Have clear guidelines for banning, put it in the rules section. Be clear on exceptions to the rule. For instance, anyone you're working with kind of gets a free pass to do anything. So our guidelines for banning, any personal attacks on the founders of the group, mods, or anyone else in the group. So saying this idea is horrible is fine, but you're such a fake, you don't know what you're talking about, not fine, instant ban. Harsh negativity, arguing and trolling. Now this is a product decision. Some groups allow it, like Cult of Copy. So if someone is obviously wrong, they'll all pile on, or they ban people and screen grab it and laugh about it. But it's just not our brand, and generally speaking, it's just easier not to do that, not to allow negativity into the group. If you have negativity, people will want to post less, so it's a good decision to keep things positive. They will help run competitions and the Ask Me Anythings, which can get really busy. They can onboard new members, and they can decide, should we have a theme for content this week? So live streaming is like the apex and the king of Facebook groups. It's the king of Facebook too. So whatever Facebook have introduced most recently, they show to the most people organically. So Facebook Live's the most recent thing, and Facebook 360. This will get shown to the most people. So live streaming, typically I live stream all of my talks when I tour around the world. This one is a paid webinar, so I haven't, but generally speaking, I have someone live streaming into my group. And this is great because everyone who is friends with you gets a notification when you go live. So this is fantastic for getting people into the feed. Also, people browsing the feed will see a live video and they'll stop. So how I use live, only ever two things. If I'm giving a talk, so that's always going to be massive value, and if I'm launching something. So it's a big deal when I go live. Some people go live every day and they don't have much to say and they rinse out their audience. I think it works well in the teenage niche if you get a fan base, but for everyone else, it's hard to go live every day and have something good unless you have the resources to script it. But you should be working all your group activities towards these live things. It suddenly becomes a lot more intimate. It's not reading an article, it's someone talking directly to you, but also to you, but also to you, all of you sitting around the world, and it seems like a one-to-one interaction. So all of your group activities should be leading up towards this. So always remember that you are in battle with memes. Memes are super popular, super high engagement, and that's what they can look at rather than looking at your group. So when you are looking for memes, just Google your niche, so music or food or finance, and just put the word meme after it, or the word LOL, and on page 1 of Google you will find loads and loads of memes. And believe me, like, your audience will love them. So whatever your audience is, so personal development meme, whatever it is, that's where you can grab memes. And the good thing about having a meme, even if it's tangentially related to your post, some people will like because they like the words, and then some people will like because they like the picture. Either way, it gets shown to a lot more people in the feed. So growing it to 10,000 members, inviting people by email. So you can invite about 100 people a day by email. Add each person who friend requests you into the group, and have aggressive share competitions. So whoever invites 100 friends gets this massive prize. You need to track your active members and how the group is engaged-wise by using Grytix. So it's real cheap software that is an official Facebook product that uses the API. And you can tell who the most identified members are. So this is for our group. You can see that statuses are by far the most popular posts. Links, only a very small slice of them. By design, so we didn't have that many. So this is generally for launches or at the very start. We had a lot of links. Video is only a tiny slice. We aim to increase that. And photos are about a quarter of it. But you can see which post types do the best as well. So you can, especially if you're into data and statistics, you'll get a lot out of Grytix. You can see who the top influencers and top engaged members are, top commenters, top publishers. So you can then go in, make sure you friend request and be friends with those people and encourage them to post more. Because these are the top 5% who really run the group. So by getting to these people, you have a much better chance of the group lasting a long time. So selling. If you are not prepared and don't understand the dynamics of community and you try to sell something in your group, no one will reply. So ways to fail at monetization in your Facebook group. You try to monetize too early. This depends on your niche. A friend of mine is a very aggressive female coach from New York. She started her group, added 6 people to the group, pitched all of them, and closed all of them. Like, that's the exception, but generally speaking, you want to give value for as long as possible before you pitch them. I had the group open for 3 or 4 months before we did a small event, a live tribute to fallen gorilla Harambe. That was the first time I tried to monetize the group through paid events, and it was kind of a fun thing. So always give value first and get people to believe you're a thought leader before you try and monetize. So you constantly talk about your product or the things you sell so people tune you out. You need to understand the launch process. So there's a book, Jeff Walker's Launch. and it's what you should follow for really getting people to sign up to your product or buy your coaching. So rather than every other week going, guys, I'm available for coaching, PM me if interested, you want to give lots and lots of value and then do a sudden launch. So guys, I only want to take 5 coaching clients on, or the next 10 people who sign up to our SaaS product will get a call from the CEO and will walk you through it. But only do those very occasionally and then get right back to giving value. So the old way of advertising was just to keep hammering you with the message, but people tune you out. People now see 5,000 plus ads a day. So it's a far better bet to only very occasionally ask them to buy something. Make it a big event or launch event where you ask them, what do you think I should produce? Then get their emails and then make it a big deal once it comes out, and then go right back to giving value. And then people won't resent you for it. If you keep selling, they will soon get bored of you. You don't listen to your users, you just broadcast. So Sophie Amorosa of #GirlBoss, what was her company again? Nasty Gal. So she got big off 2 ways, which is almost everything I'm telling you in a nutshell. Number 1, she was spamming. She was always following and unfollowing people on MySpace, and then she would send them to eBay to buy something. And the second thing she did was extreme community management. For like the first 4 years, she would reply to every single comment. So she had this amazing relationship with her audience. So I think at the very start, it's a very good idea to reply to every single comment. Over time, you want to pull away and be the mysterious guru, but for the first part of your group, have great connection with your fans. Like a lot of the biggest, best music artists have this amazing connection. Tom Cruise is known for taking photos of his fans for 2 hours before events. Like, it really emboldens people's curiosity towards you. You don't know what your users actually want. This gets back to asking. So ask them in advance before you launch something, and then there's a less chance it'll fail. And your landing page doesn't convert well. It isn't clear how to buy, or there aren't enough payment options. So at some point, you're going to have to bounce them off somewhere to take the credit cards. But make sure that landing page is great, or it won't matter how much traffic you get from Facebook. So we are almost at the end, and then I'll open it up to Q&A. I guess I can't swear because there's young'uns in the audience. 10 ways to mess it all up. Firstly, your content sucks. You haven't set the tone. You can't expect the others to do consistently great posts or want to post if you don't. In every single big group, the best poster by a mile is the founder of the group. So you have to be great at what you do. Secondly, you started it, then forgot about it. You logged in to check posts, but then you left it a couple of days. You cannot do this. You have to tend to it a lot in the very outset. Over time, you can get mods and admins in to do some of the work for you, but you really have to care in that first month, that first 2 months. You are going to have to be in there a lot. You didn't use Grytics to notice changes in the group or didn't otherwise pursue aggressive growth. Subtle things like veterans of the group leaving because too many annoying posts from amateurs. Keep an eye on how the group feels. One thing I'm paranoid about is when I do a post which doesn't get much engagement. That's a massive red flag that maybe the group's going downhill, maybe I need to change something, maybe I need to flip what I'm doing. But yeah, you need to have a feel for how a group is working, and that's not something you can measure. People spamming their own links, probably the main killer of most groups. People coming in and wanting to leech your traffic. Be very firm that this is not the place to do it. If they add a heap of value to other members, they can be given a free pass to do whatever they want. So any celebrity influencers we have are pretty much allowed to do what they want in our group, but most other people not. You're not original enough. If people are bored or there's plenty of similar groups, you'll be lost in their feed. Engagement's not good enough. Number of people in the group doesn't matter if the engagement's no good. Try more question and discussion posts and less links. Facebook won't show your post to many people if you do external links, so have a heavy focus on picture and video and text posts from day one. Another major one, you were too scared to invite people into the group at the start. Everything else you'll do is a waste of time if you don't get that early group going. Content is 10% what you produce and 90% who sees it. One Direction singer Harry Styles, his first tweet of 2015 was the word burger. 212,000 retweets. That was not great content, but his distribution is amazing. So you can get away with mediocre content if you have awesome distribution, but it doesn't work the other way around. So you need to give people the opportunity to experience the community you're creating. There's a story I like about, I don't think people will like my group. I don't think people will like my product. You don't get to say that. You have to give everyone an equal opportunity to join your group or to buy what you're having. There's a story of a salesman who goes to a house to sell fire alarms in the 80s when it was like $2,000 to buy one. And he goes and then he sees the kids barely have clothes, there's no carpet on the floor. He feels really guilty about trying to sell to them, and he's like, guys, no, look, I can't sell this to you. And they're like, no, we really want it, we must have a fire alarm. And he's like, no, look, I'm wasting both your time. You could never afford this, believe me. And sort of runs out the door. Then he reads in the newspaper the next day that a fire burnt the house down, they all died. He's like, yeah, so never presume what your audience wants. You always should give everyone the opportunity. Believe me, they will tell you if they're not interested, they will tell you if they opt out. But like the number one thing I've learned over like raising my companies in the last 4 years, you can always do more and you'll always get more back when you reach out to more people. My friend Kumar says companies don't go broke by speaking to their customers too much, by emailing them too much. They go broke by not emailing them enough. On the flip side of that point, you add your parents, that kid you went to high school with who's still trying to make it as a rapper, that strange ex you have who never logs into Facebook, and everyone else on day one. It doesn't mean you should add irrelevant people just to get the numbers up, because if you have 1,000 irrelevant people and only 10 people like a post, that engagement is very small. So you want to have people who are relevant. And finally, you don't follow this guide to the letter. I'm only half joking. There's an internet marketer called Ramit Sethi who has a product called I Will Teach You How to Be Rich. And he was being interviewed on James Altucher's podcast, and James said, that's a great name, I'll teach you how to be rich. You don't mean it though, right? I mean, it's just to get people's attention. He says, no, I'm serious. If people do exactly what I will say, they will get rich. Rapper LL Cool J once brought out a cookbook and fitness guide. And he's in New York one day, and someone comes up to him and goes, dude, I did it. And LL Cool J's like, who are you? You did what? And he's like, I followed your plan. I lost loads of weight and I bulked up. LL Cool J said, I'm amazed. You are the first person to ever do it. I knew it would work, but no one else ever followed the book. So that's the same with most of the information you'll find here. I've given this information to multiple people. Someone who did a personal safety app, that got thousands of members. Another girl who does poetry in Portuguese, that got thousands of members. If you follow this to the letter, you will grow this. This is a white space that you can grow. The only essentials are you invite lots of people in and you have something to say. Thank you. So if you email kyle@magnific.com, we share the same inbox. I'm going to send you all of these slides. So kyle@magnific.com. I will take questions for Q&A as well. Well, how many questions can we do? One. Okay.
Pick one and I'll take the mic over.
Kyle@magnific.com is the slide.
Well, hopefully everyone else is interested in this question too. But so I'm in the health and wellness industry, coaching industry, and literally, I mean maybe not literally, but almost everyone I know is posting about how, I hate when people add me to groups. It's so taboo, that's just not cool at all. I'm going to defriend those people, all those things. I want to obviously add people to my group based on all the things that you're saying. Where is that fine line, or how do you deal with that? And I'm sure you've heard of that problem yourself. So.
The marketing techniques people complain about are the ones that work. It's really as simple as that. No one complains about that ad I saw 2 months ago once. It was so annoying. They don't. They complain about the ads that go over and over. So how come those annoying ads keep getting repeated on TV? How comes infomercials last 15 years despite them being annoying and spammy? Because they work. The first 50% of all marketing is visibility. The other 50% is closing, and you need good copy and a good product. But firstly, it's all about visibility. You will get 1% of people who vocally complain. Firstly, most people who vocally complain, when you interact them, they often become your biggest supporters, because they're generally the people who are loneliest in life. So they're the ones who need social validation the most. So by engaging them, you have a much better chance of bringing them into your world. Secondly, marketing is not about what's right and wrong. As a marketer, our jobs are to work out what actually works. That's really the only thing that matters. If it works, then it is good. If not, it is bad. Is time up, Sophie? One more?
All right, one more. Can you
Who's
close? Just give the mic to you.
It's very quick. Back to what you said at the beginning. Does this work on B2B also or only on B2C?
I'm amazed I still get that question. It really feels like it would be much, much, much better on B2B. So much better. Which is why my only fear of doing this here in San Francisco is that it's so good for coaches and consultants and so easy to make six figures that some of the startup people may not think it's for them. But it is for everyone, but much more so for B2B. If you're doing a B2C app, this will not work. You need millions of downloads. But if you're doing a software as a service product and another 200 sign-ups a month could be a big difference, and then the compounding effect of that, then it would be absolutely phenomenal. All right, it's time up, Sophie.
It's time. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. Thank you again, Vin. Yes, Vin's big thing is taking a photo. Can I be in this one, though? I'm never in the pictures.
Okay. How do we do it so I take it and everyone's in it? How do I get this angle? All right, everyone raise your eyes and look excited. More. Oh, sorry, raise your hands with your eyes. Woo! Cool, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Vin. So unfortunately, we do have to stop since we started a little bit late, but we do have a little bit of time left over for networking and drinks, so please help yourselves to food, to drinks, and come and ask Vin all of your questions.